My people, great day and aloha. Peace and love to all my Moors out there, declared and undeclared, and to all my Kanaka, Maoli, and Pacific Islanders. Aloha, wa'u, ia, away. So we're going to get straight into it, baby, right here. I should have known to have done this a long time ago, but I just want everybody to know and learn these designations, these reclassifications, so you can say that you have never been told, you have never been showed the truth. Remember, brothers and sisters, spelling is a spell. The English is the newest language that they have created, and it's the dumbest language, and it's the newest. So what they have done with this language is these words that they have created, like native, black, colored, Hawaiian, any other reclassification that has nothing to do with what your ancestors, your kapuna called yourself. There are spells underneath these names. And these spells change your mentality, put you into a whole program that they have set for you. I know everybody's seen The Matrix. Everybody knows about the programming and how it's all about AI and technology. As soon as you say, I'm an African American, boom, you're in a program right there. You have a whole program. They have a boat, a ship that's going to sail you all the way to nothing. Okay, I'm black. Okay, we got a boat right here for you that's going to sail you all the way to nothing. Okay, we got a boat right here called FBA. Okay, we got a boat right here for you. We're going to sail this boat all the way into nothing. While you sailing, there's going to be you're going to have your court battles, you're going to have your paperwork, you're going to be doing all different type of things to reclaim whatever you're trying to reclaim. And at the end of the day, brothers and sisters, when you go as a Native American, a Native Hawaiian, black, colored, you're going to get your ass Dred Scott. And for my people who don't know what Dred Scott, I said in the previous video, just to wrap it up real quickly, it was a brother who was here in America. His master passed away, and he was a free man in general. Everybody's a free man. Nobody is born a Slav, a slave. Only a certain group of people in the world have that designation, that reclassification. This brother was a black man here in America. His master died. When his master died, he went to court. The black man, who was a slave, went to court and asked the white man, said out of his own mouth, I'm a slave. I need my master died. Can you give me my freedom? He said, I'm black. I'm African American. Can you give me my freedom? The court said, out of your own mouth, Mr. Scott, that you claim that you are a descendant of a slave, so we have the choice and the right to grant you your citizenship or not. Instead, the brother, Mr. Scott, could have just went in there and said, my master died. He was never my master. I need my papers. I know y'all don't have no jurisdiction over here for me. I'm doing it peace, love, free. I'm doing this with peace, love, truth, freedom, and justice. Excuse me. And this is the situation. Hand me my papers. This is my land. This is where I need to go. Thank you. When you come with that mentality, instead of saying, I'm about to blow up the White House, I'm going to blow all this, just crazy radicalness stuff. You don't need radicalness until you have came with all the different avenues of love, truth, peace, freedom, and then that's why there's justice. So the brother went to the slave master and asked himself as a slave, could he have his freedom? When you go as Native Hawaiian, when you go as Native American, when you go as black, when you go as colored, when you go as Negro, when you go as African American, when you go for all these FBA, all these new Negro, all these terms, 2026 is going to be a new term they're going to identify us as YNs. You go for all of these designations, you're going to see the end results on how you're going to be able to reclaim your land. You're not going to be able to reclaim your land. You're not going to be able to reclaim your kingdom. You're not going to be able to reclaim your ancestors' hard-earned work and money and blood, sweat, and tears, because you, out of your own mouth, are calling yourself a slave, and you haven't done your own due diligence and actually just looked into what these words are. We have all been lied to. The devil did not lie about one thing. He didn't lie just about Jesus' name being the letter J and it wasn't created until the 1500s. He didn't just lie about Christmas and how Jesus was born that day. He did not just lie about Easter, how it was the day that Yeshua, Jesus, Yahweh, died on that day, and it's Easter, and it's with bunnies, and bunnies don't even lay eggs, but the whole thing is off of laying eggs. Just these lies, just lies. We could just go down all of them. You feel me? But we're not going to do that. So right here, brothers and sisters, my people, what we're going to do is I'm going to show you what these words mean, okay? So when you call yourself a Native American, a Native Hawaiian, look, this is what Native means, as you can see on the screen right here. Native, a person born in a specified place or associated with a place by birth. whether subsequently resident there or not. So let's break it down. You can't just read this and think, oh, okay, I'm not native. Why are you not native? You got to be able to explain yourself why you're not native. And here is how you explain yourself. One of the many ways that you can choose and how you formulate it in your own words. Here is my words on how you are not native. A person born in a specified place or associated with a place by birth. That is not any of us who was here already. When you claim that your ancestors was here before time, your ancestors are the Canaanites, the Moabites, the Phoenicians, the ancient people of these times. They were not associated with a place by birth, because you will look at that and think, oh, okay, that's cool. We look at these words. Remember, you got to go down into the words. Associated. Associated means, just like, think about it like this. When you have a lawyer group and it's Johnson & Johnson and the associates, who do you think owns the lawyer firm? You think it's Johnson & Johnson, or you think it's the associates? The associates have something connected to something else to even be associated with something. We're not associated with the land. We are the land. Part 2, whether subsequently resident there or not. Now, the people they call Native Americans today, they are truly a mixed group of the Siberians from the 13th century that came over from Genghis Khan's invasion, and the $5 Indians who mixed in from the Native American Party from Charles Levi Lewis, who created the Native American Party for the Irish, the German. All these people could get on the Dawes rolls for $5 and say that they're Native American. That's what happened, ladies and gentlemen. So when you say that you're Native American, that's who they are. They are a person who was born here and associated with a place by birth. That's why they lived in the teepees and the huts. We didn't live in teepees and huts. We lived in the castles, the palaces. Look at the Corn Palace from South Dakota. That's an old mosque. We didn't live in that. That was not our culture. That was not our way of life. So now, here you can see another part in the definition of a plant or animal of indigenous. We're going to get into indigenous after this. Don't worry about that. We're going to get it all. Of indigenous growth, indigenous origin or growth. So you see this, you'll be like, oh, okay, yeah, we're indigenous, right? We're indigenous and we're the origins. You have to remember these words. Look up the word of. Of, it means associated or connected with, usually in casual relation. It is equivalent to after. So an example for you can know, when you say the United States of, you're saying the United States is after America. America is first. So when you saying that you say of, you're saying that you are basically associated with something else. So that's what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, my people. You have to get down to the exact terms, because when you get down to exact terms, it will be associated to a certain group of people, not 98% of the brothers and sisters born here in North America. That is not our story, how we was brought over here on slave boats. We was already here, and all of our people was thriving in a government, in an empire that has pictures, that has documents, that has treaties, that has everything that you need to show and prove that your ancestors was part of something that wasn't Native American, Black, African, colored, Negro. You in your own time go and try and find any treaty, any law, any documentation with governments when the people refer to themselves as Black, colored, Negro, African American. From my Kanaka Maoli, go find any constitution, the real one from 1852. You go find any of them that states you're Native Hawaiian. You go find any of them that says you're Hawaiian. When you do, you come show me. You're not going to be able to come show me because it's not true. And we have all been told these lies. We have been told these lies so we can get into these arguments, get in to these debates. Oh, no, I'm Native American. I'm this, I'm that. When we just got to sit down, remove the emotion, and let's look at this stuff from a logical perspective, and let's understand if we're wrong, we're wrong. If you're right, you're right. It has nothing to do with me or you or the person being right or wrong being better than that person. Because at the end of the day, brothers and sisters, this knowledge and this stuff that we're doing here is not for you to go out and point the finger and say, hey, man, you know, or hey, man, you know that you're really from the cave. You know, you're really not from here. I'm really from here. Our people are the Moabites. We're the original Moors. We built that. Brothers and sisters, this is not just to go out and just fact check other brothers and sisters around the world. This is not for that. This is for you to know and realize for yourself your true history, what you have been hidden from, and your true value as for yourself, and see the true value for yourself that your family have left for you. And once you see the value that your family have left for you, you go back in time and you gather those resources they left for you to propel you into the future, to make you a better person, to make you a better person in life, to help you bring something into community, whether you bring in the vegetables, whether you bring in the corn, whether you bring in the stock, whether you bring in cattle, whether you bring in milk, whether you're the cleaner, whether you're the janitor, whether you're the landscaper, whatever your ancestors have left you, everybody's ancestors were something. They weren't just nobody, just floating around life. I just want to travel all day. I just want to just play video games all day. No, they had trades. They dedicated their lives to knowing that this will help myself, my family, and the people around me and the world. And go back to that mentality that our great grandparents, some of us, our grandparents had. So as you can see right here, the next definition of native, go native, of a person living away from their own country or region, abandons one's own culture, customs, or way of life, and adopt those of the country or region one is living in. Brothers and sisters, I'm going to read it again. Go native, of a person living away, is go because they're going somewhere, traveling, and now native, of a person living away from one's own country or region, abandoned one's own culture, customs, or way of life, and adopted those of the country or region one is living in. Brothers and sisters, this is why when they just killed the buffalo, a certain group of them just transition. There's nothing on this planet that Moors, melanated people, that you can take away from us that we won't be able to replace and logically know what to use. Just like now, people don't realize that if you don't have nothing to eat, you can eat dandelions. You can make you a dandelion salad. And dandelions grow everywhere. And you know how special it is. They even grow in the hood, just in the cracks, just anywhere. So just like that, once you tap into yourself, remember all those Akasha records they talk about, all that old school, the tablets, the Anunnaki, all brothers and sisters, you are your ancestors. All that stuff is inside of you. All that is in your DNA genetically and locked inside of you. Once you tap into yourself, that's what the X-Men is about. Them people tapping into their natural abilities. And we all have that capability, but we have been watered down. All of us been watered down with social media, watered down with the food, watered down with porn, watered down to what we think love is, watered down to what we think sex is, going to the strip club, the music, how we communicate with each other, the disrespect, how we dress, how we just make our parents look. Multitude of things, brothers and sisters. So as you can see right here, when you acknowledge yourself as native, brothers and sisters, that's fine. Everybody is not going to want to come to the light and to the truth. It is what it is. I have learned that, and I had to accept that on my own. And the people that are, and the people that understand that it's okay that you've been lied to, and that, you know what, I did call myself Native American, but I see now that it's something different. I could put my ego to a side and be like, you know what, I need to tell other people the same thing, because my people have been lied to as well too. That's what we're talking about. But I understand people are going to look at this the wrong way, and that's fine. Everybody's going to take it how they're going to take it. Brothers and sisters, when you are doing this on your own and you have your own family and you're talking to your own family and your friends and your peers, trust me, brothers, I probably already went through a lot of it for you already. And I'm proud of doing that. But you're going to get hit with, nigga, you're crazy. What is this going to do for you? Is this paying your rent? How are you going to do this? Brothers and sisters, you got to be able to stand there on your square, look them straight in their face and let them get everything out on their chest and their heart. And just let them get it out, brothers and sisters. And you got to be able to accept it and take it and understand it's just not their time yet. And it might not be their time their whole life. But if that's your family, if that's your friends, you're good enough. You're the light yourself. So you are doing it for your family, for your friends. They don't got to know. It's already good enough that you know, because they know when the shit goes down and it blows up and they need to get in contact with a Mo and they need to get in contact with somebody that got their stuff together, they're going to always know and remember, yo, my partner was talking about this a long time ago. Or they go see a reference and be like, yo, my partner was talking about this. This is crazy. It's going to happen, and it happens every day, brothers and sisters. But you got to stand on your square, and you can't waver. You can't let somebody come in and show you something else and say, you know what? I'm going to drop everything that I just been learning and doing this whole time and go with this now. Whatever you do, you got to stick with it just like in life, and you got to hold on to it, and you got to follow through with it. But you got to make sure you're not getting duped and hazard by these different fake prophets out here that at the end of the day are just trying to use this to find a way to find girls, because in high school they didn't have no girls, find a way to get money, find a way to boost their own ego, find a way just to ruin our people mentally, spiritually, just making their selves gratitude. If anybody is not preaching to you about a community coming together, building something that we can all come together on, and not telling you to come pay to a seminar for $1,000 and you leave with nothing but some hoorah, yeah, I'm motivated, yeah, but nothing tangible, nothing to actually go back on and do. Brothers and sisters, this is my opinion, that to me is the revolving door and problem. You have to sit back and look at all the things that people have been doing, and people have been doing this for 20 and 30 years, and look at the predicament of our people as a whole. I'm not talking about you and your peers, because if you are quote unquote, I'm not going to say woke, but I mean, I'll say woke in my eyes and my views, because I understand that what's going on out here to a certain degree, and I know that I'm a student of life and I will continue to learn, but not the woke to where it's this whole fake conscious community, God is this, God that, God is this, brother says, I'm not into all of that. I'm into the knowledge, I'm into the truth, I'm into love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And I base you're a goddess, you're a God based off of who you are as a person, not just because you melanated, brothers and sisters. That's the smallest level of the truth. Yeah, you are just because you're melanated, because you're born on this earth. But what you do with it and how you act and how you portray yourself, that's what matters. You can't call yourself a god and a goddess and you got your booty out, you got your boobies out into a provocative way, showing it online like you want that attention. I'm not saying that you can't wear certain clothes, ladies, because you're more than welcome to wherever you want to. Men got to be able to control their eyes and their lower self and be able to understand and not just try to just tackle a woman and just thinking that, oh, she dressed like that, she definitely wants some DICK. Brothers need to relax. I understand that aspect. I'm talking about you just showing your ass for no reason. That's no reason. Brothers, the same concept, the same mentality. You going outside looking crazy. Your hair ain't done. You barely brush your teeth. If you got facial hair, you ain't even brush or shave your facial hair. You ain't even ironed your clothes, ironed your shirt. You out here wearing the same clothes you wore yesterday. You got to take time out of yourself, brothers, and improve yourself and improve your mentality. And once you improve how you are, you will see everything in a different light. Because I could come from the same boat. Brother, I got long hair. I did not want to do my hair. I was like, oh my gosh, it's this hair. Man, I'm just going to do it sometimes. The girls like it when it's crazy sometimes. They like that wow look, but that's not cool and stuff like that, because it's a reflection of me and my family. And I have to look at it as what Allah has gave me, and everybody has been given blessings. Everybody has their own blessings. And in that blessing, I had to realize that I have to take care of myself in all aspects and all fashions. Me, Not depend on my girl to pay for a haircut, not depend on my mom or my daddy, not have to depend on another barber. I have to go in the mirror, look at myself, and shave my face myself. I have to learn how to do things myself first. Take care of yourself first. See how you like yourself first and watch how that path happens. And this is just a side note. Bro, this is things online. Could I be try to stay tapped in a little bit? I'd be in the real world. But it was this thing going on about beards and your hair being shaved and all of this. My people, hear me and hear me well. They say that the beards came from the caveman and all of this, and it's the Vikings. My people, listen to me clearly. There is nothing on this realm, this planet, that the caveman has created first. He is not the originator. He is not the originator. He is not the originator of anything. Not even destruction, because we more was going back and forth with each other before then. Not even confusion, because remorse were confusing each other by putting them in proxy with each other and causing them to be confused to cause confusion, brothers and sisters. So they did not originate with beards. Remember, in the good book, in the Bible, this is not to push everybody to be a Christian. Just like the noble Drew Ali, the great prophet, said, keep your Bibles around so you can indict the caveman with it. And in my opinion, he said that because there is truth in the Bible. Once you remove the veil of you thinking that a white man or a black man is coming from the sky and coming to save you, when you realize that the Bible is about the Old Testament, the old body, and the New Testament, the new body, and the book of Revelations is not about the end of the world, but about your insides and how you conquer your insides and how you become God yourself here on this realm, just like Yeshua did. That's what you were supposed to be doing. That's what the Bible is made for. That's how when you got your eyes open, you can see these passages that shows you everything that we're saying here now. So just like in the good book, it says, do not shave your head. That is a curse to the Most High. So what are these brothers saying that you need to shave your hair when the Most High said to not shave your hair? What did Allah create that needed to be corrected? Seriously, if your hair on your head grows a mustache, it was meant to grow a mustache. It is not meant for you to cut it. If you was meant to have a beard, it was meant for you to have a beard, not to shave it. Remember, everybody cannot grow these things. And if you're able to grow certain aspects of a beard, a mustache, goatees, remember the pharaohs, they had the whole goatees. The hair is with the hair is your antennas to the Most High. The more hair you have, the more frequency and the more antennas you can have to connect to the Most High. So when you get out of these spells, brothers and sisters, with these words and letting people just tell you anything, brothers and sisters, the next time somebody tries to tell you a fact, a quote, even me, when I'm telling you and teaching you this stuff, I'm showing you and proving this to you. You could go and look for yourself. You need these people to tell you to look for yourself. So when they call you an African, you go on my previous videos. What does African mean? What is Africa it was called Libya. It was never even called Africa at first. Then Africa gradually spread it. It gradually spread it towards that. You ask anybody from there, they don't say they're from Africa. They tell you about the tribe, the land that they're from. You want to say black, you want to say color, all these different things, brothers and sisters. We got to reprogram this whole mentality. Just like the great teacher, the Titan, Brother C. Freeman L. said, you got to dump out the cup of ignorance so you can accept the pour of truth and wisdom. You got to dump out everything that we've been told, brothers and sisters, everything. There's not one thing. Remember, there's not one thing the devil did not tell the truth about. He lied about everything. Everything, even time is lied about. The dates is lied about. The calendar is lied about. Everything, brothers and sisters. So when you reprogram yourself and you take yourself out of there, then you can start seeing things for what it actually is. And you won't fall entrenched and thinking that, oh man, what's going on social media, or caring about what P. Diddy, or caring about what any of these fake celebrities and stuff like that are doing. You'll be focused on yourself and how you're going to improve your family, your community, yourself, how you're going to get your land, how you're going to build your farm, how you're going to put your kids up on there, how you're going to educate your family, how you're going to find a community of people that y'all can come together and create a government and be self-sustained here on your ancestors' land. And for people that don't think that's possible, how do you think the people that came over here did it, fool? They came over here on boats, set up their own lands from charters. They went to the people that was running it at the time and asked for permission to be there with indentured servitude, worked on the land for a long period of time in the tobacco fields that was already here. And what did they do? They created their own government and system and moved out towards. That's the same thing. So we're doing that the same thing. So once again, brothers and sisters, Native, that's already broken down. You want to be Native American, Native Hawaiian, you want to be Native African American, whatever it is, that's the boat you're going to lead down to. Dred Scott, being associated of being a Siberian 13th slave from Genghis Khan coming over here trying to invade the Americas. So let's get into indigenous, because indigenous is a highly taught word and everybody wants to be indigenous Americans, indigenous Native Americans. Now think about that. When we break down indigenous, think about all the brothers and sisters that you see here calling themselves indigenous Native Americans. Why? Just because somebody else said it, not because they went on Google, they went on their own knowledge and research and they found out what these words are. And they said, you know what, I'm going to identify myself as that. Before you start jumping into all these groups and sects and sectors and all of that stuff, find out what the origin of everything is. And I promise you, brothers and sisters, my people, the origin of all these groups of everything, the Nation of Islam, the 7%, the gods and earths, all of those groups come from the Moorish Science Temple. And they all come from there, and it must be something special from there to be able to come from there. And the reason why, we'll get into that another time. But today, indigenous, if you see the word native anywhere in the definition that you're trying to identify yourself as, remember, they will use that against you in the court of law. You cannot call yourself anything with something else in it as well. Remember the word of. So, indigenous, originating or occurring naturally in a particular place. Native. It says originating or occurring naturally in a particular place. Native. I just told you it cannot have the word native in there. Go to the second part. Of people. What does of mean? We just went over what of means. Of is associated or connected with. Remember, what does associated means? The lawyer reference. Johnson & Johnson and the associates. Who owns the lawyer? Who owns the law? Who owns the firm, the law firm? Is it the associates or Johnson & Johnson? Who created the law firm? Was it Johnson & Johnson or was it associates? Whose idea was it? Was it Johnson & Johnson or was it the associates? Who is in charge? Is it Johnson & Johnson or the associates? Remember, in charge, making the shots, calling the shots. So it says of people. So the people after inhabiting or existing in a land from the earliest times or from before the arrival of colonists, or existing in a land from the earliest times. The earliest times. That's the earliest times according to whoever the designation and reclassification they are saying at that time you are indigenous. There is no time where we was not here. We was always here, and you can find out the points and epochs in time, what time we were here and what was going on in those times. You just got to do your own due diligence, see where your family comes from, see what that name originally was, and it's in your last name. We got brothers' names whose names is Morrison. People live in towns and their last names is off the towns that they live on. It's the street names that they live off of. It's not that difficult. It's not that hard. Literally, Allah didn't make it no rocket science for you to reclaim what you need. You just got to do your own due diligence and find it in your heart and your spirit to do it. And trust and not believe, but trust and know that everything that you're doing, there is something at the end of it. And you know there's something at the end of it because you're finding out the things your ancestors, your kapuna have left for you. Don't let nobody shy you and knock you off course. When you do, embrace it and know that you're on the right course. And there's only one path to get to this way, because our ancestors, our kapuna only did it one way. They didn't do it 5,000 other different ways, like how the caveman and how the sellout Dirty Morris is giving us. They got you the African American boat, the Black American boat, the black boat, the black boat, the colored boat, the FBA boat, the young nigga boat, the foundational Black American boat, the indigenous boat, the Native American boat, the Native African American boat, the indigenous African American boat. They got all these boats set up for you, my brothers and sisters, my people that are trap doors, that are Dred Scott. You all those terms I just found and that you find yourself claiming yourself, find in law. Think in law. That these people had these names and were classified as this. And they were running governments as the nation of Black, as the nation of African American, as the nation of foundational Black Americans, as the nation of colors, as the nation of Negroes, as the nation of Native Americans, as the nation of indigenous Americans, as the nation of this. You go find me those people that's connected to the family of nations. You find those, and when you continuously to look, and they're going to continuously have you look, because there is none. You will never be able to find none, brothers and sisters. And this is me just telling you the truth, because I've done the research myself, brothers and sisters, and tried to find out. I have not just woke up today and yesterday been trying to do this. My own family can attest for this. And I do this till today. All I do is just study. That's it. Just study. Study, and study. Just like the prophet said, what do you do when you think you learn something? You go back and study yourself. And what do? You study yourself again, and you study yourself again, and you study yourself again. Because it's always something that you can learn and always something new that you can pick off of. You just got to just know when you're doing too much studying and stuff, and when you got to start applying this to the real world. So for my brothers and sisters that's going down the indigenous route, you just saw where indigenous is going to lead you. And for all the people that's saying, whoever got their land back, saying the Moors, whoever was a Moor and got land back. This is when I know our people don't really do no history and research, because there is a lady out there, bless her heart, was the Empress Verdici of the Ouachita Nation. You just need to look up her, the Empress. That will show and prove to all of the naysayers, all the people that say, show me one. Well, here's your one right here. Got back 68,883 acres in Louisiana. She showed and proved how that the Louisiana Purchase was not real, like how we always say, how they always tell us in the books how it was. It's not real. All this stuff is not real. You go back in your own family's name and do your own research. And now, the brothers and sisters then, blew the whole Ouachita Nation thing up. It's definitely not what the sister originated for. That's not my people's. I'm not here or there to comment on how they do business. That's how them brothers and sisters get down. But here is your example right here of a sister from the womb, mother goddess, put in the work and found her family's land in her name and went back and got it as a Moor. Not a Black person, not an African American, not as an Indian, not as a Native American, not as a colored, not as a Negro, as a Moor. So now we just did indigenous. Remember, indigenous is an adjective. An adjective describes something. It doesn't tell you what something is. We just went over native. Native is also an adjective. It describes something. It does not tell you what something is. So now let's get to my people who call themselves aboriginals, aborigines, and aboriginal. So this one is the easiest out of all of them. So when you see this and you see ab, anything in front of original is not correct. So aboriginal, let's look up what ab means. Ab, the first letter, means away or from. So now you said aboriginal. So that means you're away and you're from the original when you say you're aboriginal. So let's go with the definition says now after that. Relating to the indigenous people of Australia or their languages. A person belonging to of the indigenous people of Australia and aboriginal inhabitants of a place. Okay, so now it's interesting when you see that right there. When you see those, you already see all the other definitions. Word of, we already know what of means. We already see the word ab. We just learned what ab means. So look what this definition means. Of or relating to the people who have been in a region from the earliest times or relating to. Remember, what does of mean? Before or after, or relating to the people who have been in the region from the earliest time. The Aborigines from Australia, even their oral history has them coming from somewhere else. So, brothers and sisters, my people, when you try to use Aboriginal, your Aboriginal this, you are taking away from where your ancestors were already from. So now let's just look up what original means. Original. Let's do it together. Original. And let's see which one means more closely to where we are, being from here, being somewhere. Present or existing from the beginning, first or earliest. Created directly or personally by a particular artist, not a copy or an imitation. So out of Aboriginal and original, my people, which one you think you're most related to? You tell me. And there's no such thing as original nationality, the original. I just want you to get the idea of what Aboriginal and original, the difference of the two. Another path, another boat, another way they can have you go down and say, yeah, I'm Aboriginal, and lead you to nowhere. Because it leads you to nowhere because the word that you're coming out of your own mouth and you're explaining, you're saying who you are, is saying that you're from somewhere else. You're not the original people. When out of your own mouth, you're claiming that you're original people. But you got to just get the reclassifications and these definitions down correctly, my people. And once you get these reclassifications down, and during that path while you're searching and you're learning, you are evolving as a person. You are having self-love. You're going out here into the public and you're portraying that. You're not walking around with a negative attitude, thinking negative thoughts, negative mentalities, because the devil is all negative thoughts. It's not no man in no red cape and no horns. It's any negative thought that comes to your mind. While you are developing your character, developing that image that you could be great for yourself and be great for your family, and then in return you could be great to the earth, then we come together as one in the community and you see all the different reclassification. You could just sit back and just be like, wow, you can see how everybody was confused and how you were confused at one point in time too. My people, to put a bow in it right here. So we cannot be indigenous. You can't be indigenous because we was not brought from somewhere else, right? We cannot be native because we did not take up the culture of somebody who was indigenous that was already here for us to adopt. We cannot be aboriginal. You can, but it's a slippery slope when you do that, a trickery slope. Anytime you put something in front of the word, you're denoting what that originally is, like aboriginal, like how we did. So if you say you're aboriginal, that's cool. But remember, like the Aborigines from Australia, even in their oral history, they came from somewhere else. So did you and your ancestors come from somewhere else when you call yourself Aborigines? Now I can see why the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that we are the original Asiatic black man. He didn't say we were the Aboriginal Asiatic black man. So as you can see, he had a concept through the Moorish Science Temple of how to properly identify yourself in this community, in this society that we were coming into now. Thanks and glory to our ancestors and to our Kapuna. And we keep striving to become better people and striving and to become that Christ consciousness and the striving to not argue and go back and forth with one another, but to come with truth, peace, freedom, and justice and love, and be able to speak with each other with respect. And if you have different opinions, you just have different opinions. But certain things you have to agree on. And foundational things we have to agree on. And classifications and how to identify yourself, in my opinion, is one of those things. So I just want to say thank you, everybody, for peace and love for coming here. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. To all my Pacific Islanders of Kanaka Maoli, Mahalo Nui Loa. Everybody have a great day. And before we leave, you know, we always say, I'm thankful, I'm grateful, and I'm appreciative. I eat.